Talk a little bit about how you got into Muay Thai.
Right, well, I used to work in a pub when I was working in university, and the door staff were Muay Thai fighters, and they were always, because I'm quite a playful, aggressive person normally, they were like, oh, you should come try Thai boxing. But I used to play rugby, and I was like quite committed to it and trained a lot, so I didn't have time. And then when my rugby season finished, I went along and tried a couple of classes, and I just fell in love with it straight away.
So you're already used to contact and
Yes.
being hit.
I've always had done aggressive type of sports, so they said, oh, you'll fit in great.
Yeah.
And I did. The first day I ever went, I was late by like a few minutes, and the coach made me do 50 push-ups. So I was like, you just got here, what? And so I learnt my lesson to be on time for that class anyway. But because I worked shift work, I could go maybe once a week or one. You know, it wasn't very regular. So it wasn't until I moved to Ireland and went into Dublin in 2007, so like a year and a half later, I found my gym in Dublin, and then I just completely fell in love and dedicated myself to going every day then.
And so where was your university? Where were you before?
In the UK, in Northampton.
Okay.
Yeah, so I left the UK in 2007, and then I started training in Dublin then that year.
And so is Bridgestone in Dublin?
Yes.
Okay. And how did you decide to come out to Thailand?
I wanted to just visit anyway. It was kind of on a list of places I'd love to go to, and then when I started doing Thai boxing, you know, I thought straight away you should always come here, you know, at least once just to experience it. And so I came in 2010 for the first time, and I went to Bangkok, went to GT Gym in Bangkok, because I knew so many people from the UK that went to that gym, and like I had a really great time. You know, there's lots of great people there, and then I was just saving up as much as I could to come back again. So, and then 2 years later I came back again, and I looked up Sitmonchai on the internet. I just, you just took googling good gyms to go to, and reviews came up, and so I looked at this gym and it looked really great, and I contacted Abigail, who's the foreign liaison, but they were all booked out. And, they managed to only fit me in for 2 weeks, and I was over for a month that time, and so I went to Bangkok for 2 weeks and then came here for 2 weeks, and just completely and utterly fell in love with this place. Like, it's crazy how such a short period of time it can have such an effect on you. But I see it happen to loads of people here as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it has a great impression on people, and they always want to come back. And so I did.
Do you know what it was that kind of grabbed you? Because you had the experience at Jitty, so there must have been a big difference between the two.
Yeah, Jitty's was great, but Jitty for me, I mean, when I came to Thailand, it was my first time ever travelling all on my own. So it was a real comfort that I had people there that I knew, and you know, we'd have a lot of laughs and banter. The training was good, but like when I came here, I think the family atmosphere really grabbed me here, and like back at home in Bridgestone, I was very close to everybody in that gym, and like my coach was like my surrogate dad, and you know, my best friend was there. We spent all our time together. We'd hang out, you know, after training with each other. So we were like a close-knit family. So coming here, it felt even more so. And you know, just PA was just so lovely, and he was just so welcoming to everybody who came here. You just felt so part of their family straight away, and like it just drew me in. And loved it, and then obviously the training on top was just brilliant, and everybody, you know, Thais just make me cry every day. So I just straight away, like as soon as I got home from that holiday, I signed up for a TEFL course to start teaching English, because I knew I'd never be able to afford to just come here and like just train full time. So I said, I'll come out and I'll teach English, and I'll just see how it goes. So I did that, just saved up as much as I could, and then booked a one-way ticket, and 17 months I'm still here.
How long did you think, like when you first came, you were like, best case scenario, I can stay for 6 months, a year?
I thought a year, because I was like, you know, you always have to give it time as well, you know, there's always going to be a period where you're just trying to settle in and stuff. And obviously if I was going to teach, you know, normally they're like a year contract anyway, so that's what I thought. But I don't really plan much, like kind of just take each day as it comes.
Yeah.
So I don't even know now, like now I say another year. I might say another year after that. No idea. Like, I'm not a very big person for planning in the future because you never know what's going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What did you go for university?
I studied criminology and psychology.
Okay.
And,
so you were not like, I'm going to be a teacher?
no. Even now, I'm not a teacher. Like, I mean, it's very, like, teaching English is very different to, like, being an actual teacher. And it's completely different, but it was much harder than I thought it was going to be as well. Like, I actually taught in a local school just around the corner here, and they were like 11 to 14-year-olds, and I was teaching a specific like English course, so they'd actually signed up for it, so it was okay. But there was other classes that got up to 50 students that were just forced to do English conversation classes, and they just couldn't give a crap.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, why aren't you listening to me? Shut up! And I'd have them going around saying, shut up, and I was like, oh my god. All these tigers going around saying swear words and stuff, but it was good. Like, it was a great experience. It was much harder than I thought it was going to be, and I had to learn everything. I don't know grammar. I don't know anything about grammar. Every lesson I was like on the internet, like before the lesson, like what is speech?
Like cramming before.
Yeah, I don't have a clue, and I'm like the dummy's guide to blah 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 to try and teach the kids. So I got through it anyway. They passed their exams, so that's good.
Do you think that teaching helped you with your Thai?
A little bit because I was in a Thai school and I was surrounded all the Thai teachers were in the foreign language department, and I got so much exposure. Like, I get a lot here, but it's mostly Thai boxing related stuff. Whereas the school, you know, food and just like lots of their cultural things, I was learning every day from them, and it was nice. But like, they really didn't want anyone speaking Thai. You know, they were really always speaking English all the time. They didn't want you to be like speaking Thai to the students if you could. So yeah, my Thai should probably be better than it is for as long as I've been here, but I'm going to go to school when I'm in Bangkok, so I can't leave Thailand and not speak Thai. It's just ridiculous.
So you're going to be teaching and taking Thai lessons and training?
Yes.
How are you going to do that?
Well, through where I'm working, my school, they'll give me time off to like just like one afternoon a week. I can go do Thai lessons. So I'll do that. So hopefully I'll be able to read and write. Do that. I'm jealous of people like you, and I see you like, I read this in Muay Thai, and I just look at the pictures. I'm just looking at the pictures, like anyone that I can recognise. So, and it's great. I really want to be able to stay in contact with these boys in the league, and like they do chat in English, but it'd be so much better to be able to have that proper conversations with them and all, like, and keep in touch what's going on. So
you said on Facebook that part of your impetus for moving was that you're just a little bit done with country life. What is country life to you, and what do you hope to change by moving?
I've turned into, I don't know, I've kind of turned into a Thai person. Like, I don't realise it, but like when I go to Bangkok, my friends are like, Kelly, what are you wearing? You know, like I wear football shorts. You know, like you see all the Thais, they drive around their mopeds, they're all wearing football kits, and like just stuff like that. And I'm like, oh god, I'm just a Thai person. Driving around on my moped with a bag of Coca-Cola hanging off the edge, just like flying around, loving life. But like, it is great, but it's, you know, I wouldn't say I'm lonely because I spend so much time here, but I hang around with those 17-year-old boys. I'm 31, I start hanging around people my own age. Yeah. And, you know, it's not like I'm not in a relationship now, and it's not like I'm looking for one, but I won't ever get in one if I stay here. And, you know, it'd be nice to just kind of have a bit of a change. I don't want to stay here and hate the place. Right. Like, I went through a phase like where I was a bit miserable here. Just you know, just a crappy face for myself. Nothing anyone really did. And you know, I don't want to overstay my welcome, or you know, just be somewhere where I'm not happy. Yeah. So I think it'd be nice to have a change. I mean, I might end up coming back. Do you know what I mean? They all think I am. They're all like, you work 1 year Bangkok and come back. But yeah, I'm just going to see what happens. I am a city girl. I'm from the country in Ireland, but I lived in the city. So I just, you know, I like it, but I like it for a short period of time, and then go back to like, I'm just going to the cinema. Yeah. eating foreign food.
Yeah. So you decided on actually a really, really good but very expensive and like really esteemed gym. How did you decide on Eminent Air?
Literally, it was like somewhat easily accessible for me. Like, I'd kind of already known I was going to get this job in this area of Bangkok, so it was like I need to kind of live around there and, you know, be able to get to a gym easily. And so I just kind of had a look around and I asked people, and like, you know, I'm good friends with like people who know a lot about Muay Thai here in Thailand, and like they recommended Eminent Air, and I saw how it's on the BTS line. It's like literally one stop away from where I'm going to be living, and you know, they seem to be a similar style to Sitmonchai, you know, the heavy hands and low kicks, and I don't think I'll ever get the experience that that I have here. I think I'd be so lucky if I actually got that kind of experience, but hopefully. I'm always able to kind of windle my way into group. I don't know how I do it. Like anywhere I've gone, you know, I've always been able to kind of fit in. So I hope it's the same when I go somewhere new.
Yeah.
But I don't think obviously it will have the family kind of atmosphere that it has here.
And the raise in pay and the cost of living balance out for what it is here?
I think it's literally just like kind of breaking even. But like I hope that being in Bangkok I can fight a bit more, because my school was really great here because they just wanted to keep me. They gave me days off for fights and stuff like that, but still like I'd be able to fight in the evening, you know, in shows in Bangkok and stuff, which I wouldn't be able to do here.
Right.
So maybe be able to get a little bit more money, and so we'll just kind of tide me over.
Is there a local fight scene here, or are you always going to Bangkok for your fights?
I'm always going to Bangkok for my fights. There's loads and loads of festival fights all the time, but I can't get any festival fights around here anymore. I had it's kind of stupid. My first fight when I arrived here in February last year, I fought this girl, I don't know what her name is, and but she was much smaller than me anyway, but she was a Thai champion, and I lost the fight, but I really hurt her, and so it got around that I was like this really strong foreigner that nobody wanted to fight, and just since then going on to Muay Thai Angels and stuff, like, the promoters are just like, oh no, it's too big, you know, whatever, or like PA tells me things, I think sometimes it's just saying it to be nice, you know, it's like, oh, you're really good, you're really strong. I'm like, no, I'm really big, really heavy, that's all it is. But yeah, there's plenty of fights around here, like, especially, you know, certain times of the year, you know yourself, there's loads of festivals and stuff. And the Thais, they always fight. Lots of local stuff as well, but yeah, it's just, I think just being a girl anyway.
Yeah, it's hard. I will say, I'm not big, and I have the same thing where, like, people have seen my fights, and then they're just like, no. Like, no.
Yeah, that one just in particular, it was just because it was my first fight, and I was like trying so hard, and I was like, she was a southpaw, I'm a southpaw, and she was my first ever southpaw.
Like, what's going on?
And I was just like, leg kicking her, and like, apparently her coach had said, like, she couldn't train for like 2 weeks, which was really bad for her. Yeah. And she absolutely flat refused to have a rematch and the rest. So, but like, she's so much smaller than me anyway. So I don't think there's anything on me really. It's just because I'm so much bigger. But yeah, I can't. The no check weight fights are a little bit more difficult now for me.
Yeah. Do you have like goals in terms of, like, when you go to Bangkok, do you want certain titles or belts, or to fight certain opponents, or?
I did used to, before I came to Thailand, I'd love to have a belt, but now it's not so much important to me. I'd like to just fight really good opponents. Like, I would love to fight a Dunapa, just because I was matched up against her previously, and then it didn't happen, and I feel like she's a really great opponent to like aspire to fight. So like, if I do get to fight her at some point, that would be great for me. But other than that, you know, just